pretty girl's picture online. Cute guy on a TV show. This all takes place in one of the most primitive parts of your brain, the amygdala. While the most primitive part of your brain drives pure physical attraction, a different part of your brain is at work when it comes to love. The caudate area of your brain becomes flooded with dopamine when you experience feelings of deep affection and devotion. But how do you recognize your Miss or Mr. Right? They say opposites attract, but is that true? Or are you really looking for someone just like you? To find out the answer, we're going to play a game. For this next game, you're going to meet 4 couples. They're all going to tell you a little something about their marriage. Problem is, 3 of the couples are actors who have never met before. Your job is to spot the real married couple. Think you can figure out which of these couples has really tied the knot?
Hi, my name is Justin.
And I'm Sanjay.
We've been married for 4 years, been together for 7.
We don't have any children yet.
Yes. Plan on having some children sometime
In the near future.
in the future.
I knew him when I was a little kid, and then he popped up in my social media feed, and so I added him as a friend, and then we started chatting, and
She saw my picture and she thought I was hot.
I did,
That's
I
why
did.
she friend requested.
and he thought I was hot back.
We've been married for 5 years.
In January.
When we were broken up, I knew that I couldn't live without her, and so I knew that I had to be with her for the rest of my life.
Mark and I met on a blind date through a friend. Every time he would get up to use the restroom, they would say, he really likes you, he really likes you. I'm like, yeah, okay, you know.
Yeah, it was the same thing with me. It's like, she really likes you. And I was like, I don't get this. She's so beautiful.
Do you think you know which couple is really a couple? Find out how you can master the rules of attraction when we reveal the true twosome. Remember these couples? Which couple do you think is actually married, and which couples are just pretending?
We've been married 4 years and we don't have any children yet.
She saw my picture and she thought I was hot. I knew that I had to be with her for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it was the same thing with me. It's like, she really likes you. And I was like, I don't get this. She's so beautiful.
Before we reveal the answer, let's see what some folks on the street had to say when we asked them to spot the married match.
I'm going with couple 4.
I'm not sure whether it's couple number 2 or couple number 3.
I think it was couple number 1. The guy looked like he freaked out when his girl asked him something about kids.
I'm torn. I'm looking at 3 and I'm looking at 4. I definitely think it was couple number 3.
Definitely, 100% number 2. Yeah, number 4.
Definitely going with 2.
These people are all over the map with their answers. And when we revealed the real couple in the group, some of them were pretty surprised.
Stop! Oh, God, are you kidding me?
Do you think you did better than our participants? If you're having a tough time deciding who's really a couple, maybe you just need to know what to look for.
Couples, after they've been together for many years, they begin to react in similar ways to life events as one another. They begin to copy each other's facial expressions as a sign of communication, as a form of empathy with one another.
Do you see any shared expressions? Any smiles that look the same? Another clue to help you identify a real couple is how they're positioned. Any 2 people can sit close together, but happy couples tend to lean towards one another as a sign of empathy. So now that you're armed with some scientific clues, the true married couple should come as less of a surprise. Are you ready to make another choice?
No.
Watch the same 4 couples closely. Do you notice any leaning toward one another, or matching gestures and expressions? Do you want to change your answer from before? Did you choose couple number 3? If so, good eye. These 2 have been married for 5 years. Was it easier to detect this time?
Now that you mentioned that, it's definitely number 3.
Did you notice the way they mimic each other's smiles? See how they lean towards each other? 2 sure signs of a real couple. And get this, in order to guarantee the survival of your offspring, your brain subconsciously chooses a mate who matches you and your genes down to some pretty tiny physical details.
And if you're watching with a long-term partner, compare your middle fingers and your ears. You might be surprised to find you have more in common than you thought.
And just like bodies and body language can send signals, body proportions are equally as telling, as you're about to see in this next game. Take a look at this image of a male figure. As it changes proportions, try to take note when you think he looks most attractive. Use a number on the counter below to make your pick. Are you ready? Go.
That one.
Yeah, one. 4.
I took a 4.
Do you have a number in mind? If you chose 5, or close to it, then you're like 92% of our audience. Your brain automatically identified the ideal proportions without using any math. Because just like the faces we showed you earlier, bodies too have a preferred proportion. For women, it's a waist to hip ratio of 0.7, meaning the waist measurement is 70% that of the hip measurement. So far, you've seen how your brain makes split-second decisions regarding attraction. But as the years go by, does your brain retain that same spark? Or does your level of attraction diminish over time?